on from one of the previous videos I've done about the ICP TRITON results. I wanted to talk a bit more about what I've done because of the results. First off, I went shopping and got a load of the stuff that I was lacking in the test, which come to about 350 quid worth of stuff that I needed. I bought strontium and potassium, iodine, magnesium, I think I had to buy more of, boron, bromine, detox, salt, and another ICP test, just to, you know, I'm and ahhing about keep carrying on with the TRITON ICP stuff, but fuck it. If I send it, I'm hoping that I don't run into another problem. Basically, as far as I'm concerned, if you're struggling for something and you want a quick answer, the TRITON ICP is fucking no good. For me anyway. In my area, I live in the West Midlands, and it seems like the turnaround's about 3.5 weeks, so that's no good. But besides that, I'm not ruling them out. Like I said, I've gone out and spent another 350 quid on their stuff to try and, I want to give them a good run for their money, so pack it in. Lucas, come here. Come here. I'm playing with you, I'm trying to... There's 3 people who watch me, Lucas. Come on. Can't let them down. Think of the subscribers. Leave that alone, mate. Right. Right. What was I on about? TRITON. So yeah, anyway, I wanted to give them a good run for their money. I'm not going to rule them out that quick. This tank's been a bit bullshit anyway, so it's not like I've started something brand new and done everything by the book, because I definitely didn't do everything by the book setting this up. So I want to give them a good year or so, unless something goes really ape shit. I want to give them a good year or so before I say like whether I would want to continue using it or not. To be honest, this tank right now is more of a it's the penultimate before the before I do the big system and all the stuff I want to build outside and all that you'll know what's going on soon enough. Because, you know, this tank's kind of like a test. Like TRITON, for instance, I put quite high at the top of the list of methods or things that I'd want to use on the big system and all that. So if it turns out to be shit on this one, or I don't do any good on it on this one, or X, Y, and Z with this tank, then I know, well, I'm not gonna. It's ballsed up on a 250. I'm not gonna go ahead and use it on a, you know, 1,000+ gallon total system or whatever. So then I can give myself time to like, okay, I'll go back to RedSea because RedSea were real good. Or do Aquaforest full on, because I've always sort of half-assed their stuff. Like I've got, you know, only certain elements of their stuff. I even tried Reef Flowers a while back and they were pretty good. But that was always just with LPS. So when you're getting really into the SPS dominant, and like I've always said, I want this tank to be SPS dominant, you're on a different level there, and all these little things that we're adding to our tanks are taken up in a much greater volume, even with like a little stick of SPS, like a 2-inch frag of SPS compared to a 5-head frag of some torch coral or something. That 2-inch stick's probably still going to take up more calcium and alkalinity than a 5-headed torch coral would take up. So anyway, we have got a load of growth and stuff now. Things have actually started working out a bit, but I'll do a proper update next week or the episode after this. I think this will work out like the 19th episode. So on the 20th episode, I'll do like a full update and get the camera and get close and yeah. Anyway, so I bought all this stuff off TRITON. So I put my order in. And then a few days prior to when it was supposed to arrive, or when it did arrive, I got a phone call off the bird, and the salt that I bought, I was trying to buy the Triton 2.0 pure salt, and I talked about that a little bit in the last video and took the piss for a bit, but then kind of looked at it a bit better and just thought about it for more than 5 seconds and sort of thought in theory their salt should be badass, it's meant to be pure and all the rest of it, all the levels should be like bang on salt, natural seawater level. And so naturally I wanted to try it. Everything comes pre-packaged, everything's individual, blah blah blah. I was going to make up like 50 litre batches of it or whatever, and then divide that into two 25 litre batches, because I tend to do 25 litre water change. Anyway, so she rung me up and said that they can't get hold of the salt. Apparently no one can at the minute, because the way Triton works is they've got this machine that makes all the additives, and they have to use the same machine to make the salt. So like for a company that's meant to ship stuff and do this, that and the other, like worldwide basically, I want to buy some salt. Sorry mate, we've unplugged the machine at the minute, we're using it to dry the fucking clothes or something like that. It's kind of bullshit. Like for a company that big, Triton, I think you should reinvest in yourself a little bit and get a duplicate of that machine or whatever, and just have it just make the salt, and then your other machine can make all the additives and stuff. You can't say it's not like you've probably got enough money to invest that into that, you know. I just thought, to be honest with you, I thought she was dicking me about for a second because of, you know, sellers being sellers, but she wasn't. I looked into it and she was being like totally fucking straight with me, and apparently this is something that Triton do. They've got like one machine, some rickety old fuck machine that like makes all their stuff. So if they want to make their salt, they've got to stop making all their additives. So if they're selling loads and loads of additives because no one can ever get hold of the salt, people sort of give up on buying the salt and only still carry on buying their additives. They're never going to fucking switch the machine around to be able to make the salt. So it's kind of a losing battle. So I think Triton should get a machine just for the salt. Anyway, she was cool and she said, "Oh, I can send you another type of salt that's kind of worth more anyway, and this, that and the other, Tropic Marine Pro Reef salt." And I said, yeah, alright, if this is what Triton reckons is just as good as their salt anyway, then yeah, send me that one. It works out that I get more for my money anyway. Send it. And I was meant to get a phone call off Triton as well, and I didn't. But it would have been good if I did. I could have asked them some shit and then told you that. Anyway, from what I understand, the Tropic Marine Pro Salt parameters fall in the range of like 7.5 DKH to 8 DKH. Calcium's going to be somewhere in the region of 450. Magnesium's going to be about 1400. I'll probably test it all before it goes in the tank anyway. I think what I'm probably going to do is do one massive batch. So I'll make 100 litres of the stuff, or 200 litres of the stuff, or make as much as I can using one bucket. The most I can make at the minute is 220 anyway. But I'll make it all and then test that barrel and then divide that up into the 25 litre water jug things, and then it's easier for me basically. So yeah, that's about the size of it. I mean, the tank's looking a lot better for it, I guess. So the size of it is I'm going to do a bunch of water changes again using their detox. So I'm also using their system of getting heavy metals out of the water and all that sort of stuff. So I think that's about all I've got to say at the minute about that. And I'm not ill anymore either, so that's good. Subscribe there, watch that. Cheers, see you later.